April 3rd, 2023, Management Services Committee to order. Okay. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
All in favor? I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, are there any public comments? Seeing none. Maintenance Supervisor report. So Chris, were you able to get a price on lightning rods for all the trees?
No, but that's in line for this. In case no one gets that, it seems we can't get away from talking about trees at management for some reason. I don't know if you've had the pleasure to drive up Gray here. It's the last tree by the tracks that just completely got destroyed by lightning on Friday. It looks like it got hit by a rocket launcher or something. So, I'm assuming that'll be another one we have to have cut down because the whole thing is split. The circumference of the trunk is split just like down into the earth. We can try and trim it up and see what happens, but, because you never know with trees, but what do you guys think? We just have it taken down, or?
If it's split all the way to the ground, it's
Get it out of there.
Yeah.
There's chunks like 200-300 feet of wood like in every direction. After someone had told me it happened, and I came out here and looked, and there was pieces of wood on 24, little like shards. So I can't imagine if you were driving right past that, you would have thought you got blown up or something. Yeah, it did a number on it. Inspection-wise, this past month, Getz recertified all of our fire extinguishers. It was a bit less this year than the past couple. There were hardly any that were up for rebuild. Last year there were several that were due for their 6-year rebuild. There were a couple Halon ones that needed redone this year, but that got done this month. I did a full filter swap over here at the administrative center on all the heat pump units. And I'm planning on doing the same thing over at the courthouse and jail this coming month. There's some jail maintenance. Got called to the jail quite a few times this past month. People were enjoying clogging sinks and showers and toilets. Toilets are my favorite, just so you know. A couple belts on a rooftop unit had to swap out. 2 years ago when we had the door project done over there, we had the door controllers redone over at the jail. That's all under a 5-year warranty, but I'm having a company, I spoke with Sheriff about this and he agreed, company Integrity Steel that kind of piggybacks on CM Detention, and they come in and they adjust everything, they service it, they lube it, they make sure the doors are level, they reset the limits. It's been flawless since it was installed, but this company is going to come in possibly as soon as the end of this month or more likely in May. And they're going to do a full service on all of those doors for us. And all the other doors, just swinging with the keys, they get those working as much as they can as far as the internal mechanisms of those locks, those old, 50, almost 60-year-old locks. They're going to do that as well. I mentioned last month that management is in the process of beginning to service all the equipment in the shed. That's done now, except for the forklift. I haven't done the forklift yet. 2 trucks, 2 snow blowers, power washer, Bobcat. They're all done. They're all serviced. Well, speaking of snow blowers, I'm not even going to bother putting together a snow removal. They usually give you all the statistics and everything and the usage. I mean, it was almost non-existent this year. We used 32 bags of salt over the course of the entire winter, which is, it's nothing. I think my help came in, I haven't even asked Amanda yet, but I'm guessing it's like 15 to 18 hours came in to help. So we got off real easy this year. I had to do a little bit of work on the Dodge. Battery went out on me. I put a new throttle positioning sensor. It kept dying on me. I just did that in the shed. There's an issue with the plow truck. I think the bed is becoming detached from the frame. It's been doing a lot of clunking, and if you stand in the bed and jump in a certain area, that I don't know what you can do about that, or if any of you have any recommendations, but the bed is detaching from the frame. I don't know what that means in the future, but that's something new that popped up here in the past, like 2-3 months. I reached out to Weber's, who had given us a bid for the animal control AC unit. And I went in and spoke with Tom. And they're gonna come out, weather permitting, this month, hopefully towards the end. And they're going to look at the units, see what needs to be done. There's the mini split in that east portion of the building that's in question. They're gonna look at that too, and we'll get everything squared away for this summer and get it all nice and working for the dogs and cats. Last but not least, the elevator is completed. A couple weeks ago, they finished that project. The door works amazing. Everything works fine. I have not received an invoice for the remainder of that yet. I don't know if Jill has or not, but I haven't spoken to her about it. But it's completed. Everything's working fine, and knock on wood, hopefully we won't spend any money on that thing for some time to come. Because right now we're looking good. And that's all I have. If there's any questions for me, it's pretty much the sum of the past month on my end.
Is there any warranty on the workmanship on that elevator?
That's a good question. I don't know exactly, there is warranty on it. I have all that paperwork of the initial bid process when I got all that. Offhand, I do not know what it is, but there's some sort of, and I honestly couldn't tell you if it's a year or 10 years. I need to look into that for you. Sorry.
Can't know everything.
I like to answer questions.
Usually gravity works for them.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, any other questions?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, basically, we told you go ahead and do the tree,
Yes,
unless you want something more official.
no, we have lots of money in the
Yeah,
budget to this point. We haven't really spent any money over here, so we're good.
County farm management issues.
I haven't heard anything.
All right, then we move on to animal control building and morgue.
There really isn't much to say since last month. On this past Thursday, Doug Geiger and I met with Garner and discussed the situation as far as any possibilities at the hospital. And the hospital itself probably is not an option. But there is a building there, an outbuilding that's gonna be looked at. Couple of other options that we're looking at, but nothing significant to report today, so. Unfortunately, a lot of the time has been spent the past month working on some issues related to legislation that's come out of Springfield that very time consuming and meaningful, so. That's about all there is to say really, unless anybody has any questions or whatever. Keep your eyes open for properties that might be available.
At the kennel, did you find anything about the waterproofing?
Not yet. Just got so messed up with this other stuff.
Yeah. I understand.
Is that a building on the north side of the hospitals? Is it attached to the hospital?
No,
Isn't that like for the receiving and warehousing building, is that it?
well, I think that's what it was used for. I think
Yeah.
being used as an office space right now primarily, but we need to get more information on it.
I don't know if we maybe talk to to some of the local realtors and tell them what we're looking for. Maybe they would have a better ear to the feel of what's happening, what's available and what's eager here.
I personally haven't done that, but I'm not against or opposed to it.
Right. I could do that,
We've been- I mean, it's been no secret with the realtor that we work with on the animal control building as to what we're looking for and need, so. But, yeah, I mean, any avenue that produce results is,
yeah.
it's a unique situation. Yet I think there's an opportunity to find something, but we're just gonna keep working at it, so.
All right.
Thank you.
Some will come up, I think.
Yeah, plenty of vacant buildings.
All right. We are going to open and take action on fertilizer bid.
How many do you have?
2. Bid number 1. From United Prairie. Phosphate, 54,340, potassium, 114,440, no limestone. Total amount of bid, $63,387.50. I would not recommend this bid due to the potash recommendation. See other bid to see my recommendation. So, bid number 2 is also from United Prairie. You can. Bid number 2, phosphate 54,340, potassium 48,921.25 total pounds. Total amount of bid 42,093.91. And recommended bid 125 pounds potash across the whole farm.
What's the difference? Amount?
What would you like to speak on the bid?
Yep, the second bid is just 125 pounds across the whole farm, whereas the first bid, the soil samples recommend 300 pounds, but agronomically speaking, spoon feeding it 125 pounds or to 150 pounds is more agronomically sound than just dumping 300 pounds of potash across the whole farm.
You'll actually be able to use the fertilizer.
Yeah.
You're trying to save us money.
As it
Spend
says,
it wisely.
yeah.
Will the lower amount, will that maintain, or will it start to build, or where are we at with that?
They just maintain.
Do we need to build, or is
You
maintain
won't build potash in the
In that-
savior soil.
in that ground? Okay.
Or on the phosphate, are you using 18460 or?
No, 1152 map.
What do you guys think?
Last year you did 150 pounds.
Who recommended putting more on it? Was that us?
No, that was the soil test, right?
Oh.
Is what they were going off of.
Yeah, mine bumped a little bit, I know. I'll make the motion to approve the $42,093.91 bid for United Prairie.
That's bid number 2.
Yes.
Is there a second?
Second it.
Any further discussion? And we'll take the vote whenever you're ready.
Bowers,
Yes.
Benz.
Yes.
Zumwalt,
Yes.
Aaron's.
Yes. Okay, whenever it's appropriate to put it on, I guess you're good to go.
Let's just hope it dries up.
Right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We will go with natural gas bids now, so the floor is yours.
What he said was.
Well, good morning.
Morning.
Hand these out first and then I'll go through them in detail. You've got printed one off. So, as I outlined on this here, on the front, currently the county is locked in at 0.287 cents per therm through July. So we are looking at pricing starting in August. I have pricing here from Mansfield Energy, Constellation, IGS Energy, NG Energy, as well as Symmetry Energy. So I'll just go through these here really quick. These are all on the customer select program based on your size. This is the recommended distribution rate behind Nicor Gas for the size of your accounts. This is for your current 3 location as well as the new location, which is the Humane Society, right? Or the Animal Control. Sorry, close. So Mansfield 12-month, 44.73. Mansfield 24-month, 48.27. Mansfield 36-month, 50.84. Constellation 12-month, 49 cents. Constellation 24 months, 50.30. Constellation 36 months, 52.50. Constellation 44 months, 53.80. IGS Energy 12 months, 44.50. IGS Energy 24 months, 48.20. IGS Energy 36 months, 50.80. IGS Energy 48 months, 52.50. NG Energy 12 months, 37.51. NG Energy 24 months, 43.08. NG Energy 36 months, 43.28. NG Energy 48 months, 44.89. Symmetry Energy 12 months, 44.90. Symmetry Energy 24 months, 48.50. Symmetry Energy 36 months, 50.90. And Symmetry Energy 48 months, 51.90. Markets move daily. I can tell you, just as the electric markets are volatile, the more volatile I've seen them in the last 23 years over this last year. Locked someone in this last Thursday. Within one day, I seen prices go up within 2 cents. So again, prices that I'm presenting to you here today will change based on market conditions next Tuesday. My recommendation would be going with NG Energy for 36 months at the 43.28 based on the prices based on Friday, March 31st. We usually do a 36-month contract. That's why I recommended that. My forecast with natural gas as well as electric, yeah, it looks pretty bleak over the next few years. You got an increase, but I've seen it a lot worse for some other customers that when markets were over $1, we're starting to trend up to $1 last year. Some people were more locked in around 55, 60, 70. So let's see, you're not doubling your price, but 1.5 times, somewhere around there probably compared to what you currently got today. So with that, I'll open it up for any discussion you might have.
Not gonna come down, is it?
The Shreveport, Louisiana LNG port is coming back online. That's the one that blew up last year, mysteriously. Took a lot of time for it to get back on based on governmental permitting and stuff. But that's supposed to come online with more coal plants down. There'll be more peaker plants and natural gas producing electric plants online this summer and in the future. There will be more LNG plants that come online next year and the many years to come to ship more of our product overseas, instead of leaving it here. And really, there's not any new exploration on natural gas here in the United States. And markets have come down to the point now where producers are shutting the wells in to drive the prices back up.
Too bad we couldn't get the Energy Inter for 3751 there.
4 years.
36 instead of 12.
Yeah, like I say, the outer years are higher than the current years right now. I've seen it both ways in my 23 years where it flip-flops, where the prompt is more expensive than the outer, and then you can see it. I mean, I've seen it both ways where it's just the other way around. So the longer term, the cheaper it got. But right now, that's the way things are running right now.
So much uncertainty.
There's just like everything, too much uncertainty.
So is this based on like a cubic foot or what is it?
Per therm,
Oh,
per therm,
Which,
or a BBTU. So MMBTU would be $4.328 per MMBTU, or $43.28 per therm. And I can tell you that, everybody goes, well, the markets, the NYMEX is trading at X. Yeah, well, the problem is now the basis from the wellhead to the city gate is at premiums, and that's like 7 to 8 cents alone. So they're catching everybody one way or another. Yeah, so when the markets go down, then the basis usually goes up from the wellhead to the city gate.
so when they get done shutting down all the coal plants, are they gonna start shutting off the natural gas stuff?
I just heard that there's legislation in the state of Illinois by the Democrats to start putting up some nuclear plants in Illinois.
Smaller ones, you said.
I don't know, I haven't heard that part of it, but I found that ironic with the big push that they're doing on
Yeah.
green energy. I think they're finally figuring out that it's not reliable. And, because now the MISO capacity auction for Ameren and all MISO area is on hold till May 19th. And they could see capacity, instead of being $235 a megawatt hour, to go up to $450 a megawatt hour on the electric behind Ameren. And that's strictly because they shut too many coal plants down. The reliability of the energy markets aren't there. So as I tell people, try to get into 25, if not 26. Do not get into only 24. Wrong time. You got to get out there a ways.
Hopefully into a new,
I hope, but
President,
I don't see
administration.
I don't see anything change until at least third or fourth quarter of 25 at the earliest. But I think it could be even into 26. But some things I think are out of control, especially on the electric here in Illinois. I mean, we're in Illinois. I mean, we're with the politics here. So, different story. I mean, it's gonna take years for a nuclear plant to be built.
I know you recommended 36 months, but the way things are, they're not gonna get better. So I'm wondering if we wanna go 48 months with what we agree on. And that way we'll know what we're into.
Well, like the electric, you kind of just let them, I mean, I don't know, it's up to you guys what to do. I mean, you can make a recommendation for 36 or 48, but I'll bring options to the table next Tuesday and have options. If the board wants to go with 36 or 48, I'll have either contract for them to sign.
what are the chances of that getting a little closer by next Tuesday?
Getting lower
Well,
or just,
the 36 and 48 getting closer. Hard to tell.
I don't have that crystal ball.
Why not?
You don't either.
If I did, man,
Whatever I recommend, you recommend the opposite.
yeah. Yeah, there's too much politics in everything nowadays, I'll put it that way.
I would think if you bring both of them,
Yeah, I mean, I'll update, just as I did with the electric, I'll update all suppliers. And I'll make my recommendation based on what's available at that point in time. But I mean, right now, I would say Angie's probably gonna be the leader again. I just don't know where the rates are gonna be. But I'll update them again on Monday, bring stuff with me, make sure they're executable, and that way they can be signed off and executed.
So, how did we word it with the electric? Just to send it to the full board for approval, review and approval of the current rates?
and that way we're not deciding.
Well, because it's gonna change between now and then when it's actually
Yeah, there's-
official.
I would love to say that the rates will be about the same. I have no idea. I think it's gonna keep getting worse as we get closer to summer because there'll be more demand for natural gas. It's just kind of like what happened last year.
Why is there more demand in the summer for?
Because you got more peaker plants kicking in,
for the
and then once you
electric?
get an LNG plant back online, you're gonna start shipping more overseas. Yeah, I mean, it just, yeah. Interesting times we're in.
Well, I'll entertain the motion.
I'll make a motion to table action on the natural gas bids to the full county board.
Okay, there you go, that works. Second?
Yeah.
So do we need a voice?
Bowers,
Yes,
Benz.
Yes.
Zumwalt,
Yes?
Aaron's.
I'll see you Tuesday morning.
Okay,
Thank you.
we appreciate your.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Open and take action on waste disposal bid.
How many bids you have?
One, okay. At least we're getting one.
Yeah.
There have been times when we didn't get any. There have been times when we'd have 3 or 4 and actually have to make a decision. Okay, Homewood Disposal Service. 6-yard container, 1 time per week pickup, $85 per month. 6-yard container, 2 times a week pickup, $145 per month. 4-yard container every other week, $60 per month. 4-yard container, 1 time per week pickup, $65 per month. 4-yard container, 2 times a week pickup, or $5 per month. The first 2, I guess, administrative building, second 3 were courthouse. And then 2-yard container, 55 for animal control building. So, easier to look at.
Do we need one over there to handle control?
Yes, we have a small dumpster over there.
Yes, if we need one.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
garbage.
And you gotta do something with the
We
waste.
do deep cleaning twice a month, and they also have regular cleaning when they do their kennel duty. So we did it twice a month. Pickup, we can always go to once a month, but right now twice a month seems to be working out well.
But I mean, the city has the can too, but could we use the cities?
I don't know. I just set them up with who we currently have. I don't have somebody there every week to, they come in AM, PM duties. There's nobody technically sitting there to take garbage cans in and out.
Yeah.
So I just thought maybe a smaller dumpster would be, and they shot us a pretty decent price, and it didn't change at $55 what I'm paying right now. So that part didn't change, and I caught bits and pieces of what you were talking, Lyle, and it sounds like their bid went up $5 from what we currently pay. For the other two buildings.
Did I not speak clearly?
Well, I may not have been fully listening either.
I get that a lot.
But yeah, they kept their bid the same as what we're currently paying, and then we can try going once a month, which would lower it even more, but.
Well, I'm assuming you're bagging the waste. So there shouldn't be a smell issue for the neighbors.
But the initial takeover of the building and the initial clean out of the shed and the building itself, the twice a month was working well. But now that they've kind of gotten that all straightened out, and I have somebody going in to deep clean twice a month as well. So I left it at twice a month, I can always adjust it.
I mean, you're the one that would know better than,
So we're kind of learning how much we're gonna actually need over there right now, because the first 2 months, they weren't picking up, and they couldn't quite figure out why. Well, they were shipping the invoice to Dr. Yusuf's address instead of using ours, so we figured that all out, got that all worked out. We had like $180 credit or something like that, I don't remember exactly the numbers, but so we're all situated now. So once we actually see how the pickups go and how much we actually use, we can adjust it from there. We had the same issue with the electric, they weren't billing us for electric.
and you had to go and figure out why we weren't getting a bill.
Well, yeah, because eventually I think they would probably want some money from us, and better to catch it early than not at all.
Would use a fan?
No.
Who else used to bid? It was Allied and someone else.
Blue Garden?
Yeah, we used to get a few, but they were all considerably more than what we pay.
They only went up $5 from what we're currently paying, which I was a little surprised by.
I don't know if they use that for bid or not. I know Allied, who does Watsika, they were always the highest.
Charlie, is that Kaufman's?
Yeah.
Yes.
Kaufman's.
So
There's somebody
Chris-
over by, Fairbury too that does it.
The administrative building here, since, the kids are not here, has our need gone down?
It varies from week to week, month to month, but I would still advise doing
Keeping
it
it
weekly.
safe?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's work they're doing over at the jail and courthouse, that's working out as well, the twice a week, because that one fills up quicker because it's smaller. And, my recommendation would be to leave it the same.
I'll entertain.
Make a motion to accept their bid.
And just to be clear, there are 2 6-yard dumpsters here at the admin building?
No,
Okay, so then we need to decide, yeah, a 6-yard container once a week for $85 per month, or twice a week for $145 per month?
once a week over here.
Okay,
Once a week?
Yeah,
I mean, they gave
That's cheaper.
the option.
I think so.
We're paying $100 right now.
And at the courthouse, a 4-yard container every other week for $60, 4-yard container once a week for $65, 4-yard container twice a week for $105. What are they getting? What are they, you said
They
it's
were
twice a
coming
week?
twice a week to the jail and once a week over here.
It was $100 for here, $140 for there.
Bigger containers or what?
Same size.
Is it bigger? Yeah.
Over here it is,
Oh,
yes.
here it is.
We have a smaller one at the, yeah, it does seem like it went down. I don't understand, but I'm not complaining.
I don't like it either.
Same size containers.
So we want to stick with the twice a week then?
Yes, please.
Is it that there's no room over there for a bigger one, or?
There's really not, because it sits off the parking lot on a concrete pad, and they wouldn't be able to fit one the size of this over there
Okay,
unless we found it totally, what they have going over there is working, so.
so 4-yard container twice a week for $105 a month. And then 2-yard container every other week. Is that still gonna work for
Animal control.
animal control?
Yeah.
And here and the courthouse. Our contract doesn't run out until September 1, 2023, is that it?
Joe, do you know?
Says administrative building contract good until September 1, 2023. It actually says animal control building contract good until October 31, 2025.
We never had a contract with them for animal control. That was an added on.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Or is this just a short-term contract? Because I thought this was gonna be up pretty quick here. That's why we're doing it now. Why we're doing it now, because it was gonna be up.
Right. Withdraw my motion until you get that figured out.
Yeah, because this is only good for 6 months. Actually, that ain't even 6 months from May till September.
Maybe you should table that until we get it figured out, huh?
Well, we don't want it to end.
No.
Should we try to
I
contract?
have the contract date as the end of March, or the end of May
That's what she's got on her
of
paper.
this year, so I'm not sure what that.
Okay, on the paperwork, the service agreement, it says $140 per month, price goods from September 1st, 2020 through August 31st, 2023 for 6-yard dumpster. So their paperwork was actually showing it through August 31st on that one. Same on this one. And they don't, it just says routing for instructions here on the ones for animal control. I guess we need to figure out how long it's actually gonna be for.
Because we want a year, at least a year minimum. You know.
Yeah, and this one was 2-year.
But I think they also require 90-day cancellation.
Right. And maybe that's why we had what we had. I know one of them used to have a 90-day requirement. Okay, so I have nothing showing on here how long it's for. You have what the bid paperwork said?
As far as,
The length of the
what we were asking for.
I don't remember with me, but we just asked for, I think a 1 year, 2 year, or 3 year, I think, is what we really asked for.
Well, I guess we probably do need to clarify it, and then we'll just, so a motion to table this till the full board meeting to give us some time to.
So, last August 31st of 2020, it was moved by Johnson and seconded by Zumwalt to accept KP A&J Disposal's bid for waste disposal at a cost of $140 per month for a 6-yard container and $100 per month for a 4-yard container. Roll call. Vote was taken and motion carried. Yeah, we'll have to call them because I'm not sure what they did with the.
You said that was A&J?
It's the same. It's
And it's
they go
okay.
by KP A&J. Well, it's very confusing.
There were
Yes.
3
Yeah.
names.
They have like 3 names.
That way they can bid against themselves.
I suppose.
Get it.
Maybe.
Places that require more than one bid, that's how they get around it.
And yes, and when I added on animal control, I just asked them to add it on and we would bid it out all together again when it was up this year, so. Animal control shouldn't be in your contract.
Did it have frequency pickup on that one too?
What I just read?
I'll second your motion.
Okay.
Bowers,
Yes.
Benz, Zumwalt,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes. Okay, claims. Anybody got any questions or comments on the claims?
Yeah, we got AT&T again for like, what's it like? $13,000.
I'm waiting on them to finish up the phones over at the courthouse for the sheriff's department, those lines that we found between sheriff's department and joint dispatch. Bruder's currently working on that.
Okay, so
It's just been,
it's gonna
it's
be,
been held over because, they've had some backorder issues with some of the phones and switches. So hopefully that'll be finished up. I just asked for an update not too long ago. Hopefully that'll be finished up shortly and that can be canceled. Cause it was canceled at one time and then found out sheriff kinda needed those phones, so we had to turn it back on.
oh, okay.
It's kind of been a mess. I'm, going back and forth trying to get us some sort of a credit, but I can't promise anything.
Yeah, I know, AT&T.
Okay, any other questions on the claims? Or a motion to approve the claims?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
So,
Bowers,
yes.
Benz,
Yes.
Zumwalt,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes. Any old business?
Yeah,
We'll start with you, then we'll go to Chris.
all right. I know it's been brought up by a couple of people about the seating arrangement, and I think it should be looked at again. I do feel like our backs are at the doors and we don't. It's a safety issue, not just we're not just nitpicking, but I do agree that it should be rearranged like it was. Just bringing my opinion out. When you're all sitting with the backs to the door, it's not a comfortable feeling. Yeah, I know I sure swivel.
John faces the door,
Well,
so
John,
he knows when to
he
duck.
can be the lookout. There's more than one door.
Hope nobody's bothered to come and talk to me about it.
It's been mentioned several times in the meeting.
Nobody's bothered to come and talk to me about it.
Well, if somebody has a
I'll come and talk to you.
recommendation, if somebody has a
Always
recommendation on
available.
All right.
how to do it, that's gonna be, you know. I know it was stated by someone other than John that it is nice that they can see everybody in this format, so. You know, that's, but, yeah, if you got suggestions on how to do it, talk to John.
All right.
Any other old business? Yes, that's right, you
I know I keep bringing this up, but mowing and animal control. Is this something we want to try to ask Halls what it would cost? Or is this something you want me to do? Because as wet as it's been and the weather's gonna inevitably turn warm and snap here soon, I don't want it to get out of control over there and be an eyesore. If this is something you want me to do every now and then,
Can you put a cow camp over there?
I'm basically volunteering to do it, so it's like I don't see it being an issue going over there for 40 minutes and mowing a lawn.
When is our contract up with Halls? It should be.
This is their last summer. This
Okay.
is their last full summer, and then next year, in what, like January or something, it'll go out for bid again.
If you're willing to do that, then I think at least for now, because we don't know how much grass we're gonna end up with
I know.
when after we get the kennels on the outside done.
This will involve picking up a push mower though.
Do you have money in your budget that you can do that? Or do we need to take it out of animal control?
Either way, I mean, a few $100 isn't gonna kill any budget.
Well, I guess,
Take it out of household supplies? Joking.
Push more with the seat.
Yeah. There we
Leave
go.
it there too.
yes, it would stay there.
Yeah, that'd be.
Yeah,
Something that'll fit in the shed.
sure.
Mower in a gas can.
I know McCullough's has some real nice Kubota ride-ons, CTR, no, I'm joking.
Yeah, you pull forward, you back up, you're done, huh?
Right, 3 swipes, and leave. But it's just something I drive by there often, you know, it's right there on Route 1 or whatever it is. It's gonna need to start being done here fairly soon. I mean, there's people around town that are already mowing. And I have no problem with it. If it turns into an issue at the end of summer, something we can revisit it this time next year. But let's take it a year at a time if it's,
We make it official,
That you should buy more.
so somebody.
I'll make a motion that you acquire a more.
And whatever.
And the gas can.
Yeah.
Gas can, whatever you need.
I'm more than happy to do it, so.
Second,
Yeah, there's a second, I'll second.
whenever you're ready. Oh, you got discussion?
No, go ahead, finish.
Bowers,
Yes.
Benz,
Yes.
Zumwalt,
Yes.
Barons,
Yes.
I forgot to ask you if you ordered the trees from Thad yet.
Yeah, actually, that was last week at management. I don't recall if you were here or not, but yeah, they did get ordered. I thought, for what I understand, they come in April at some point. But yeah, we ordered 50 trees, pines, they're bare root. It says, I forget, like 18 inches supposedly or something. There's 3 varieties of pines we ordered. And yeah, once they come in, we'll start fortifying in there, that tree row. I want to get it cleaned up first. There's a lot of debris still around that I haven't gotten to because it's been so damn wet. I can't drive the truck where I want to, so. Yeah, trees are ordered.
Yeah, Thad had given a recommendation of how many and stuff, and so that's what. And we discussed whether to have, there's 3 varieties, whether to have them separated. And I think we decided to just kind of, every third one be the same. That way, if something came through and wiped out one variety,
There's a
the
couple
other
other
would still be.
sheets that came with that he'd given me, but that's the info. The other 2 sheets or 3 sheets were just like basically an order form.
Sure.
But those were his soil tests and whole 9 yards.
Any other old business? Yes.
I think it's been talked about, but I didn't know what the plan was for the water along the road that goes out to 24, behind all these homes. It's been there for several weeks now.
It's been talked about, and I think when we were discussing it, the village was supposed to come back to us and never did, so it just kind of went away.
The ball's in their court.
As far as I remember,
That's fine.
The village thinks the ball is in our court.
Okay. So the ball's up in the air.
May I
Yes,
speak up?
sure.
I think it was maybe 4 years ago, and this was an issue because we'd had a extended wet period like that, and actually the mayor came in and spoke about it because he's one of the people who live right there. I visited Public Works and they came up, they drew up a proposal they were going to put a couple inlets, sewer inlets over there, like beehive ones, and go north and then tie it into a ditch that ultimately leads through town and whatnot. And then the point of prices and whatnot start to come up, and I don't recall, I'll be lying if I tell you exactly, but there was a portion that they were willing to pay, but then we were going to have to pay for amounts, and it just kind of went nowhere. And then
I think COVID hit.
I think you're exactly right. I think then COVID times came and and then last summer, there was nothing over there ever because it was so dry all the time, and then people forget easily, and now here we are again. Can anyone actually tell me the city limits line? Because I look at maps and it's,
We're down the road towards the courthouse from here.
you know, I look at maps and it's,
There.
you go up Grant here where the lightning tree is, and according to maps I look at, the west side of the road isn't ours, it's the city's. It's like goes over a little bit and then back over, it's so ridiculous, I don't,
That's probably why
We
there's,
own it, but it's within the limits of the city.
yeah, it's
This
weird,
building is within the limits of the city also.
it's a weird thing, it's, I don't know.
well, the official would be next door, because they will have, because when we were talking about placing the
Yeah,
Morgan stuff back here, within a couple feet of where the pavement ends, there was like 3 or 4 or more taxing things because some were in the city, some were not, and all different things. So, yeah, it's kind of goofy, but they would have where it is as far as taxes are concerned, and that should be pretty official as far, you know, because they're gonna send the taxes to the right body, I would think.
Subject to court challenge.
Well,
Another issue that I don't think ever got resolved was there was a question of elevation because we have to go under the railroad. Supposedly there is a tile over there, or a culvert, you know, and it wasn't ever really, to my knowledge, determined whether that is lower or could be lower. You know?
Love Ridge Lane over here,
Yeah,
that's correct, isn't it? That's the cul-de-sac, that's Love Ridge, right?
Right.
That drains into a ditch. I know this because I had to work out a little bit in my short time at the city. That drains into a literal ditch. It's on the north side of Love Ridge, the cul-de-sac there. It gets to the tracks, and the same ditch heads west to 8th Street and goes under 8th Street there, and it winds up tying into that new concrete culvert that they redid here, 12, 15 years ago,
right.
right near Superwash and that. That's where it goes into. And they were going to just join this. The elevations, they had elevations and everything written up because it was a small presentation sheet. Whatever happened to that, I don't know. I might have beaten it or something, I don't know, but supposedly it was close, but they thought they could catch it elevation wise. So
if they wanna update stuff on that pricing and whatever and come to us, we can put them on the agenda.
there's a whole new regime over there now, the new public works director, the second in charge is gone.
Would it make sense to have them get a hold of Chris
Yeah,
and then you can report?
The mayor is still obviously very interested.
Yeah.
I don't have time to do this, I have to
There was
know that
another-
one now.
Yeah,
There was another idea that was advanced at the time that this project was under consideration. And that was instead of going north, that we would come south and thereby be able to pick up the drainage off of our north parking lot at the courthouse. Carry the line around past the jail, past the maintenance shed, and then off over towards Porter Avenue. And hook in over there.
Yeah, that was an option as well.
And to me, that option is something from, at least from the county standpoint, makes a lot more sense. There also was a difference of opinion from some of the members of the management committee at the time that this project was discussed as to whether going north would even work or not.
Right.
Whether those opinions are right, I'm not in a position to say, but that was a concern as well.
Well, I don't know well, but I know who he is.
It is a project that in my view, ought to be considered. It's a project that, at least from the county standpoint, could be funded by ARPA money if we so chose to get going with it before that money is gone. But that's just another part of the picture.
I thought that money was already spent 3 times.
We have more applications, we have money applied for more than we have, but we have not awarded more than we have.
Well, Chris, if you wanna talk to whoever you need to talk to over there, we're willing to discuss it. I mean, it just kinda got put on the back burner or whatever.
Okay.
Any other old business? Any new business? Motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We are adjourned.